y'all. Yes, y'all. You know what it is. It's them kids and wives and 9-to-5s, but we are still married to the games 136. And you know this, man. It's your boy Gabe Patillo with Tim Router and Timothy Hall, of course. And as always, we are talking games and life and games. Thank you guys so much for being here. It is 5:30 in the morning, and my body is like, is it 4 o'clock in the morning?
My body's like,
no, it's 5:30. Wake up.
My body's like, I think Hall's the same way.
We know you hop on Wii Fit in the morning.
Exactly, just to get the blood flowing. Oh my gosh.
That's the next game you need to stream if we get enough.
Oh, heck yeah. Chumby Ninja does Wii Fit. I like it.
Exactly. I have the exact opposite of what R. Kelly used to talk about. I'm like, my mind's telling me yes, but my body's telling me no.
I don't see nothing wrong. Oh, good
Router.
Stuff. Oh, hello, brother.
What is going down?
Oh, not me, man. I only got 3 hours of sleep last night thanks to the Nashville Predators Stanley Cup playoff hockey game that went into triple overtime, and then we lost.
Yeah, just sucks. For the loss.
Oh, it was such a good game too. I was Facebook messaging with my uncle Steve, who lives up right outside of Chicago. We were texting back and forth, and it was kind of fun just to have somebody else who enjoys it, and we were just talking about how good this series is, even though the Preds are now down 3-1. But yeah, it's good. This is the time that I watch hockey. It's really exciting. The playoffs are always really cool.
Have people come back from 3-1?
Oh yeah.
Did they talk about that? Yeah.
No, I mean statistically it doesn't look good, but but it has happened. Yes, and yeah. So we'll have to see. I mean, it's one of those series where they've been pretty well evenly matched. And it just keeps going Chicago's way. But what are you going to do?
Right.
Other than, I wish I could tell you I've just been playing hours and hours of Dragon Age Inquisition right now, but
come on,
it's still shrink wrapped.
You can't even tell us you've played minutes and minutes.
I haven't played a single minute of that game, and it's just sitting there, and it's killing me, absolutely killing me. In the past week, I've launched 4 different websites. So it's just been one of those. It's been one of these months. It's a great problem to have, but it's been one of those months where I have not been able to get my game on, and it's just been killing me. This past weekend, I hauled 90 bags of mulch all around my house, and mulch, 90. I had to make 3 trips to Home Depot.
Wow. 90 bags of mulch?
90 bags of mulch.
Wow. Just to put into perspective for the people out there, that's Router's house and tax bracket. We bought 5 bags of mulch. 5. This joker bought 90.
Stop. We have a lot more. We have a lot more berms and more beds than you do. And they go the length of the house.
Apparently.
No, and they go the length of the house. So it's like we have.
Gabe, I'm with you. I bought 5.
There you go. I wish I
90.
Feel free to swap with me.
Yeah, exactly. Because you guys do have that whole backyard.
We have the big berm in the back with all those trees. So we have to redo that one. And then, I mean, our backyard has one in the corner. It's got one that goes along the side of the house. And then the front yard has just one big long one that goes along the side of the house. It takes a while to do.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So
oh my gosh.
Great
was
work.
Your back like no day? More?
No, I had to split it in 2 actually, because I started late on Saturday, and then I got poured on Saturday. Just one of those freak little storms that hit.
That's right.
So I'm like walking around like squeeze the whole rest of the.
And then the pollen storm hit.
Yeah, oh yeah. But hey, let me tell you something. Those allergy shots are working, because I'm seeing pollen everywhere, and I feel like I'm going to get itchy, but I'm not. It's great. My nose is clean and clear. I can smell. I can taste again. So life is actually pretty good right now.
Pollen standing on the other side of the street like, we coming for you, man.
It's like gang warfare.
Don't think this going to last.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, goodness.
We've got all spring. We got all spring.
Yeah, a chew, punk, a chew.
So, yeah, that was pretty crazy this weekend, but it was good. We have a little garden, so we got that done. So I'm sure we'll have a nice garden, and then by mid-July, when it's 102 degrees, everything will just be smoke, and it'll be done. But yeah, so just doing some yard work. On the parenting front, a little bit of a milestone. We're not using pull-ups or diapers anymore.
Oh, snap.
So we've upgraded.
That's a big deal.
We started this week, and
level up.
We've leveled up in the parenting front, and it's been really great. She's been outstanding with it.
Great.
Yeah, it's a weird feeling to not have to worry about that. And it's also a scary feeling because you feel like when you go and get her or wake her up in the morning, you're going to just see this huge puddle in the middle of her bed.
Yeah.
But she's been really, really good. So
has she been getting it up, or is she holding it the whole night?
She's pretty much, we'll put her on the potty right before bed. That's the key. And then she can hold it for the whole night. But one night she did wake up in the middle of the night, and I heard a boom, and it was the toilet seat. So she got herself up. I was floored.
Amen.
And I was like, oh, that's so great. This is amazing.
Bring it.
So yeah, that's, I think that's pretty much it for me. Yeah, I'm extremely boring, and I'm sorry. It's really bad. Like it's like one of those things where I'm like, this game has so many hours up in it that I could be like halfway through this game right now,
waiting for you,
and it's just not there. So I'll get there. I'll get there eventually.
Halsifer.
I don't have much to report. I've been pretty boring, and honestly, Krista and I kind of needed the rest this weekend.
Good.
I've been working a lot, but my brother-in-law's girlfriend, she does like security for a lot of the concerts and stuff around here.
Mm-hmm.
And this past week, she got to meet Steven Tyler, and I was so jealous.
Oh, that's
way.
So cool.
And even funnier, like if you remember, they had a game on Super Nintendo, Genesis, and I think it was on like Sega Saturn and PlayStation. Do you remember Revolution X, Gabe?
I remember that name. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Music as a Weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'd love to ask him about that. I'm sure he doesn't remember it, though.
It had nothing to do with it. He was like, yeah, they took our picture one day. And next thing I know, we had a video game out.
Well, I know they did a little bit of, I can't remember if it was on the Saturn version. I had the Super Nintendo version, and there's a moment in the game where like Steven Tyler's talking to you, and it's like 1 frame per second.
Nice.
Golly, that's dope.
Yeah, he's like, here's the keys to our car. Take our car, and you need to beat these bad guys. So here you go.
Did she get a picture and all that?
I think so. She said that he hugged her.
All right now. Yeah, Steven Tyler. I'll take that. Man.
He hangs out in Nashville a lot.
Yeah, I saw another picture of him at Martin's Barbecue because we know the couple that owns it, and he was hanging out there. It's like American. No, he's not even on American Idol anymore, is he?
No, I don't think so.
He's not.
Yeah, he showed up at like a singer-songwriter thing at Bluebird Cafe.
Oh my gosh!
Singing. I bet the place
serious?
Went nuts.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
So a similar thing happened a few years ago with Robert Plant. He was here recording with Alison Krauss, I think, and he got up and sang or something. I can't remember.
Can you imagine just sitting there and all of a sudden, boop, Robert Plant or Steven Tyler?
Lord have mercy. I'm trying to think if I've ever. I mean, that was like that was like when freaking what's his name came out during Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, Garth Brooks.
Oh, Garth Brooks. The place went nuts.
Oh, it was deafening. It was like, you got to be kidding me. It
wasn't Chris Gaines. It was Garth Brooks.
It wasn't Chris Gaines.
Yeah.
It was definitely Garth Brooks. Yeah. I think Chris Gaines got shot.
I hope so.
What happened in the story arc of Chris Gaines? We need to know.
Exactly.
It's a cliffhanger. You got to wait for season 2.
Oh, man.
That's so funny.
You playing anything, Hall?
Yes. Borderlands still.
Yes.
Moving through that. I've been told that game is significantly shorter than 2, so I must be like halfway through the game by now, I imagine.
Awesome.
I'm not doing a lot of the side stuff. And Hearthstone on the iPhone is awesome.
Sweet.
So basically, when they ported it over, and considering it's a Blizzard port, and I really love, honestly, I thought about it. And I was like, man, I'm a real big Blizzard fan because everything I've played of theirs I've loved. They did the port right. They basically kind of reformatted everything for the screen, the smaller screen. So it doesn't feel like you're having to squint or kind of lose some of that gameplay from the iPad.
Nice.
The iPad is kind of like clearly laid out, but since I have a mini, like the resolution's kind of low. I think it's the same resolution as the iPad too. So the game looks sharper already on my 6 Plus. And besides that, like it's a pretty close experience to the iPad, in a smaller screen, portable, everything. I play it on my lunch breaks. It's
are the cards visible the whole time?
What's that?
Are the cards visible the whole time?
Yeah, when you want to play a card. So every time it comes to your turn, when you want to play a card, you have to click on the deck and it'll kind of line the cards up for you. And I haven't had a situation yet where I have to zoom in on a card. So,
oh, nice.
It's pretty well laid out. Like I imagine it would be, I don't know, the 6 and the 6 Plus both are probably great for it, and it's probably been optimized for those two, but I don't know if they released it for like the 5 and the 5S, but that would be, I think, a significantly harder experience just because the screen is so much smaller. I'm not certain on that, but
that sounds about right.
Yeah. Shoot. It's still a heck of a lot of fun. I kind of put it down for a little while, but picked it back up on the iPhone here, and I've been really enjoying it again. So awesome game.
I like that. That's freaking great. Is that it?
That's it.
Wow. We're boring this week. What's up with that?
We're so boring.
We're except for Gabe, we're on Baby Watch week 2.
Yeah, exactly. So funny enough, I beat Borderlands this last week.
Yes.
Borderlands 2?
Borderlands 2.
Yeah, buddy.
Dunsky. And
that's it.
That's it for that game.
That's it.
What'd you think, man? Story. I know that without
honestly,
the context of one stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
I don't, it's funny. I don't really know how I feel. Like, I definitely I was glad it was over. And,
okay, that's not good.
No, not in a bad way, but just like, it definitely, you wished that there was more, without having to do the side quests. I do wish that you got to know Handsome Jack more. Is he in the first one?
He isn't, but he is in the pre-sequel a lot.
No, I know that. I know the pre-sequel's like about him, but he's not in the first Borderlands, period.
No, I don't think there's any mention
remember
at all.
him.
Because I feel like you come into the game, like, as somebody who didn't play the first one, I feel like you come into the second game and you're like, crap, I missed who this guy is. Like, you don't, like, he's such a name in Pandora. You're like, well, of course he was in the first one. Like, this Joker attacks you in the opening sequence. So of course he's in the first one, right? And then I guess you guys are saying he's not. So I wish that they would have unpacked him more. Like Hall was saying, I don't remember if it was last week or the week before, how the pre-sequel humanizes Handsome Jack and you get to know him and his story more. And I wish that would have been in this game because it felt like, to me, there's no reason for my character to be doing what he's doing. He's just following a bunch of orders the whole game. Hey, go do this. Go do this. Go do this. Like, there's no real reason for him to be doing it.
Huh.
I think they kind of somewhat solved that issue with the pre-sequel, at least for the character I selected, because they do a lot more backstory and smaller kind of story elements, like through your Echo device.
Right.
Because with the second one, the thing that I felt, playing as the, I can't remember that character's name, but I played as like the commando character. And they didn't, I didn't feel at all like, why am I playing this guy? Like, I don't know anything about him, really.
You know what's funny is that you're picking up more on the story side of things, and that was like, as I'm thinking about you playing this game, that was like not even, that was maybe not it's such a side note for me. I just thought you would enjoy it for the gameplay and just how fun. It's like a totally different first person shooter.
Yeah, and that did get funner. Like you guys were saying, like once you get a little bit more locked in, that does get fun. But I think I beat the game and I don't know if this is a high or low level, but I think I beat the game at like level 28. You know what I mean? Like there just wasn't
right.
that.
That's
like,
about right. Yeah.
Yeah. They're like it just didn't draw me to do the side stuff as much as I thought it, as much as I wanted to.
28 sounds about right because basically they released like a whole other game of DLC pretty much. Each DLC thing is like, 3.5 hours each. So I think there's like 4 or 5.
But if he got the Handsome Collection, he should have all that DLC. So
yeah,
he probably
I can't tell what's DLC and what's not.
Yeah, exactly. So you probably just didn't play some of the missions where you could have leveled up a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, that's so funny that because to be honest, I can't even remember a lot of the story. I was just having a good time going around, and my whole thing was just loot and guns. Like, get me more guns, and that was kind of the thrill for me. So the story was kind of a side note for me too. I loved all the characters. I thought it was awesome. I love the fact that you can complete one side mission. My favorite side mission is that one where you just have to headshot that one guy and that's it. And boom,
that
you're
was
done.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Shoot me in the face. Shoot me in the face. Not the leg, not the chest, in the face.
It's awesome. Like that kind of stuff it was just humorous. It's really witty and man, it's funny.
And it's funny because my other problem was the side missions. Like I felt like they were so all over the place in the sense of, hey, go do this. And you're like, oh, okay. And then in the middle of you doing that, like, oh man, it looks like you need this. Go all the way over here. And you're like, oh, and then all the way back. So the side missions I didn't feel like they were pick up and play. Like,
right.
In a mission based style game, I feel like I should be able to jump in there for 10 minutes, get some stuff done and jump out. But you could jump in for 10 minutes and only maybe make it through one of the missions.
Yeah.
One side mission.
It's true.
And so that was, and maybe because I had my foot on the pedal and I was just trying to beat the game, it took out some of that for me. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Well, the side missions are fun, but like
just
I said,
long.
My complaint with the game has always been like, you don't get near as much XP because you quickly level past the side missions anyway.
Right. So like if you're already past that level, the reward you get it's a moot point because you've already leveled up.
Yeah,
so
there was definitely times where I was killing characters and getting 1 XP and you're like, oh, come on.
Yeah, that's all I get
XP.
For this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
all this trouble.
Yeah, and I wish they could have figured out how to just basically say, let's just scale the whole game to wherever you are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, it's funny because all the enemies scale up with you. So why wouldn't the side missions scale up? I mean, it's like, because I remember like you as you progress, your enemies levels progress as well.
And maybe if you do it in order, then the side missions do level up with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but there's not necessarily a set order, is there? I mean, most of those side missions are just kind of, hey, you could do this, or hey, you could do this.
No, I'm saying like once they're available, if you go do them right then.
Oh, and that's what I would do too. Like if it was available, if like I would kind of do it by territory too. So if I'm in a certain area and I know there's side missions there, then I do all those side missions. Because otherwise you're going to go all over the map and it can get really like, I got to go over here. I got to go over here. Sometimes you haven't unlocked that fast travel and you're like, oh, forget it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I guess it kind of depends because the thing I found like, and I can remember this stuff from playing Borderlands 2, but like playing the pre-sequel, for instance, I'm not doing a whole lot of side stuff and I'm always at the level I need to be for the story.
Oh, that's good.
So the side missions become a moot point. So I'm like, well, I don't want to level too far past the story. I want it to still be challenging.
At the end there, it started jumping. So I'd be at like level 25 and the story mission would be 27. And I'd be like, oh, shoot. So there was like, I think I did the last three or four story missions, like 2 levels down from where all the bad guys were.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that was a little frustrating, but I thought
would be challenging.
I figured they did that on purpose. Like no matter what level you were at, the enemies towards the end were always a couple levels above you, but I don't know. I could be wrong.
Did you figure out the trick with the second wind?
Oh no, what's the trick?
Just stay near a like pretty weak guy.
Oh yeah,
just if you ever go down, just
always wear him down. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I got on the last level. It got to a point where because you could kill those clones of Handsome Jack really easy, and so it got to a point where right when I die, I just line up somebody with my sniper rifle and be like, bah, and it'd be right back up and running and throwing my freaking decoy, and it was fun. So that was good. And so what I was going to get at was when I posted the credits picture, I said, boom, baby. And people were like, oh, the picture didn't come up. I thought you had your baby.
That's right.
Yeah,
so I saw that.
Anticlimactic. And then, so that was funny just because obviously when you think somebody's having a kid and then you open it up and you're like, oh, they just beat a video game. That's obviously a letdown. So what happened the last 2 days or this is just actually yesterday. We have a writers camp for Goatee Records. So they bring in the artists, they bring in a bunch of writers. You have to be invited. And just for 3 days, you sit and you write songs for these artists. Well, they invited me because they invited me last year. And I said to the guy who's heading it up, I was like, hey, listen, my wife yesterday had started having some contractions in the grocery store.
Ooh.
And so I'm going to sit this one out this year and just be around because the writing place is like 30 minutes from my house. And so I'd have to, if something went down, I'd have to drive home and then drive the 45 minutes to, to our hospital where we go downtown. And he was like, oh, man, we totally understand. It is all good, blah, blah, blah. So yesterday, one of my buddies texted me like a couple hours later. He was like, hey, heard the news. Hope everything's okay. And I was like, what news? And he was like, Jenny? And I was like, oh, well, I was just explaining to somebody and I have to explain to him that she had contractions the day before. And so I just wanted to be around, blah, 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 blah. And then my mom calls me like that evening. Is Jenny in labor? I was like, no. Why? What? And she was like, oh, sorry. The rumor on the street is she's in labor. And I was like, oh, no, she's not in labor. I have to explain to her the contractions the day before, blah, 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 blah. And then I get a text from a writer that I usually write with named Spencer. He was like, hey, man, praying for you. Hope everything's going well at the hospital.
Oh, my Lord.
Like, oh my God.
That is amazing how word spreads.
Yeah, I was like, we're not at the hospital. And then I'm going to bed last night, 1 o'clock. What time was it? 1:30 in the morning. Jenny comes in the room. She goes, hey, what's going on with this rumor? Toby's wife is texting me saying, is everything okay? Are you guys at the hospital? I was like, oh my gosh. Just for one, I was like, that's the game of telephone that we used to play when we were kids.
Oh yeah.
Gabe, just have a press conference, man. That'll take care of everything.
Yeah, seriously.
That's what I need to do.
Do that and you'll be fine.
I'm going to play for the Heat.
In all seriousness, man, how are you feeling? You excited? You ready? You not ready yet? You gotta get the baby ready.
Jenny's really ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready, I think.
The room's done, right?
The room's done, thank God.
Awesome.
And we're about to have a baby, baby around. Yeah. So I'm not big on babies because I feel like they're breakable. I like more like that Piper age where Piper can just bounce off stuff,
crap out of each other, and they're fine.
And so, so there's that. But I'm excited to have a baby boy, and that'll be awesome, fun. Man. And I put up on Twitter this piece of art that Jenny bought for the room, which I thought was perfect, which says, it says, always be yourself. unless you can be Batman, then always be Batman. Yeah.
So good.
I was like, this is perfect. So yeah, we're excited. And Jimmy's definitely ready to have the baby. And she was trying to have it this weekend. We went to Kevin Hart. He played the Bridgestone.
That's so awesome.
She was hoping that she would laugh herself into labor. But I guess it doesn't work like that.
The hospital's like 5 minutes away from there.
Really close.
That'd be really convenient.
So we're like, now's the time. Let's do this. But Kevin Hart was hilarious. It was literally the first 10 minutes. Me and Jenny both had this thought separately and talked about it after. We were like, it can't be this funny the whole time or we're going to have a problem.
Right.
Because the beginning was so funny. I was like, I can't laugh this hard for an hour or I'm going to have an issue. I'm going to have diarrhea or something.
Labor. Yeah, you're going to go into
I don't know what happens to the human body if it laughs really hard for an hour, but
they get a good ab workout out of it. That's for sure.
Exactly. The beginning was so
he was good,
funny.
Huh?
Oh, man.
How long was he on stage?
He was only up there for probably an hour and 10 minutes.
That's all you need.
Which is a long time to stand there and talk.
Yeah.
But, man, it was so funny.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
The production was really cool. And he had a couple little gags where where he would talk about hearing something in the house and turning the light on real quick and all the lights in the whole arena would come on.
Oh, that's
cool.
cool.
And then they'd go back out, they'd fade back out as he's talking again. And so it was cool stuff like that.
I like when they do that, when there's
cityscape behind him and, it was cool.
That's great, man.
Yeah. So it was fun. Whew. So I don't know what I'm playing next. I think I'm playing, I think I'm going to do Bloodborne.
Ooh, yeah. That's there. That's ready for you.
Yeah, so I got Bloodborne in waiting, and then we did some more Shenmue Saturdays this last Saturday, and moving the needle on that a little bit. So, yeah, keeping her moving, man. Baby watch.
That's right. That's amazing.
Let's get it. Let's have this baby.
Yeah.
And that's it for me. Router, you got it?
Let's do it.
Ha-ha. Well, let's do it.
All right, new releases this week, people. Here we go. Mario Kart 8 DLC pack number 2.
Nice.
Comes out. So I still have to get pack number 1.
And each pack adds, I think, 2 cups. So 8.
Right. Yes.
8 tracks.
That's pretty cool, man.
So this will be 16 new tracks if you haven't gotten any of the DLC yet.
Do they have like a DLC bundle?
They will.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
they had one. They had
No, they did.
It's $11.
Season
or $12
pass or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed Chronicles China releases for the PS4, Xbox One, and PS3.
I'm so interested about that for some reason.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of it. It looks kind of cool. It's a 2.5D side scrolling. That's how they're describing it. Will I play it? I don't know.
You don't think so?
I don't know. I mean,
it's such a different game.
It is. So I think
it might be fun. You haven't been having fun with them, so maybe this will be fun.
Maybe you will.
I'll look into it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
We also have Shovel Knight's being released for the PS4, PS3, and Vita.
Mm-hmm.
And Infinity Runner for the PS4 and the Xbox One. Let's move on. Top 10 charts. This is for the week of March 21st.
The week of December 2nd.
Week of December 2nd, 2012. I feel this is so stupid that I guess we'll just keep the tradition, but VG charts, man, they better get on this. This is ridiculous.
Keep it alive.
This is a month. I don't even remember what came out last month. But here we go. Number 10, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare for the Xbox One. Number 9, The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask for the 3DS. Number 8, GTA 5 for the PS4. Number 7, Battlefield Hardline for the PS3. This is when Battlefield Hardline made its debut. Do you remember that? Seems like years ago.
Way back then?
Way back when?
Yeah.
When I had hair?
Number 6, Battlefield Hardline for the Xbox 360.
Oh.
Number 5, Final Fantasy Type 0. Is it Type O or Type 0 HD? It's probably Type 0, right?
I would say Type 0.
Okay, that's for the Xbox One. Number 4, Mario Party 10 for the Wii U makes its debut. Number 3, Final Fantasy Type 0 HD for the PS4. Number 2, Battlefield Hardline for the PS4, which means the number 1 for the week of March 21st of 2012. Battlefield Hardline for the Xbox One. The Xbox One beats out PS4. I will say this: this was a busy sales week because starting at number 4, Mario Party sold in its debut 149,000 units. The number 3 spot, Final Fantasy Type 0 for the PS4, sold 205,000 units.
Oh, wow.
Battlefield for the PS4, 299,000 units. Battlefield for the Xbox One, 310,000 units. So people were out shopping the week of March 21st.
Yeah, they were. Shoot. And they must have got their taxes back.
Yeah, seriously. They must have figured something out. But hey, there you go, man. People are buying some games. At least this week.
I'll tell you what. That resume that the PS4 has now, have you guys seen that much?
Not bad.
That thing is ballerific, like it's all terrific. I couldn't believe how well that thing works and starts your PS4 up.
It's pretty awesome.
Oh, man. If you enter into rest mode, like many of you guys have probably done, and you start the PS4 back up, that thing picks up quick right where you left off.
Really?
Yeah, it's just like it going to sleep.
Yeah, I mean, it's rest is sleep, basically.
Yeah, and so, but I'm saying it pauses the game right where you're at, and then that thing's up before I even, because I'm so used to having to go to the menu first.
Yeah.
That like, I'm usually not paying attention and my game's up and going already. I was like, sheesh, that thing is fast, man. That's awesome.
That's so funny because I always save and quit my game and then put it in rest mode.
Yeah, I do it too, just from habit.
Yeah.
But I have tested the feature and it works.
I haven't even thought. I'm
pretty trustworthy of the autosave, and I just go into rest mode. I did it, I think, one time when I was playing Borderlands. I did the save and quit, and then went into rest mode. And when I started it back up, it was like right back at that screen. I was like, I'm gonna try just doing this from after I complete a mission and just hit rest mode.
Nice.
That thing is bang. Like, I feel like you could do it in the middle of a firefight and pick it up and be fine.
That's awesome.
Yeah, probably. Because I think when I did it, I just bounced back out to the menu, went to rest mode, and then when I booted it back up, it went right back into the app, like when you click on it. So. Yep.
And your game is paused. You go back in there and it's paused. It's awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah.
There you have it.
I just heard geese outside my window. I guess they're coming back.
Yep. It's that time.
Some geese?
Yep.
Coming back up north.
Yep.
Well, Florida's getting hot, so we might as well come back up here.
Exactly.
EA and developer DICE have announced Star Wars Battlefront.
Dun, dun,
they did.
Yes, they did.
Last week was like the week of trailers, wasn't it?
It really was.
Yeah.
We had the new Star Wars come out.
It was glorious.
Which looked awesome.
Oh,
the new Batman vs Superman.
Do we need to talk about both of these real quick?
I could talk about it.
All right. That'll be
awesome.
That could be episode 137.
Man, I thought the Star Wars trailer was awesome.
Oh, man,
that was pretty cool.
That was.
They were like, we can only show you Han, though. Han and Chewie, and that's it.
Han and Chewie.
That was excellent, though. When you hear his voice, you're like, oh, yes, now.
That was pretty awesome.
And, man, and how does freaking Luke still sound so young?
Oh, auto-tune.
Like at the beginning of the trailer when he's talking and, I guess it's a throwback to the old movies. I was like, is this a recut of what he said then?
I thought in Return of the Jedi, that's when he says it. I thought, are they just going back to that? But no, I mean.
But it's a different line. And so
and then he says, and now you have it. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, he is a voice actor, so maybe he played himself.
Still, like, sometimes you can't fake sounding old.
Yeah.
He still sounds young. Man, I thought that trailer was teaser, I guess teaser trailer.
Teaser trailer number 2 or whatever.
Yeah. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome.
Chewie, man. Chewie doesn't look any older.
No,
I'm glad they didn't gray him up or anything
I know,
like
I
that.
thought there was going to be like a gray strip, like a skunk down the middle or something.
30 years older and doesn't look any different.
No, he's good. He's Chewie.
and then the Batman versus Superman. What'd you guys think of that one?
I haven't seen that one.
Dude, it's going to be dark.
Dude, that's a...
It's Zack Snyder, so of course it's going to be dark, but that looks dark. I'm actually kind of excited for it. A lot of people are kind of nitpicking it right now because some people have read the comics, or some of the diehards are like, "Well, this is like not accurate."
That is not how that happened.
That is not how that happened. But who cares?
Yeah. But what did you think of Homeboy's voice as Batman? Jenny hated it. She was like, "Why do they all feel like they have to force themselves to do that?" Like,
yeah, but that was part of it. Exactly. But it's part of the suit too. I think
that's what I thought.
Isn't that part of his thing too? So people don't recognize him, his voice.
I don't freaking know, man.
Because he is kind of like out in the spotlight constantly.
But it felt like Christian Bale was the one who
he started
everybody on to doing that really low, ridiculous sounding gruff voice. You know?
I see what you mean.
Because you know what's funny though, Router, that you say it about the suit, because I thought that too. I was like, maybe that's his suit, but I think his mouth is out. His mouth is not in the suit.
Yeah, but people are saying that he's got it's like a voice thing on that's like triggers it. Like he could still keep it open, but it I don't know. People are all like, they're just picking it apart, and it's fine. That's fine. But hey, I'll
tell you what, that dude looks like Superman to me.
Oh,
Henry, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
He looks like Superman. I was like, yeah. And that statue, the false god thing. Oh, that
was cool.
Paul, you gotta watch that trailer.
That was a little 300-esque I was like, oh,
yeah, it was.
There's a little ode to 300 right there.
Man. Oh, you gotta watch it. Just
Superman guy, it's the same guy they used for Man of Steel.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. And then I don't know. Did you guys see the Star Wars Rogue One trailer? It's a little side film, and it was a 30-second teaser trailer, and it's about how the rebels got the plans for the Death Star, called Rogue One.
Oh no! Oh, I didn't see that.
So that was one of the last things that they showed at Star Wars Celebration, and it was super quick. And it's pretty cool. I love the backstory stuff. Like, I want to see more of that, because we all know episodes 1 through 3 wasn't backstory. That was a lot of crap, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
But to have somebody take this seriously and really like, this is exactly how it happened. It sounded it's going to be really
seriously.
Cool. Yeah,
like they weren't taking 1, 2, and 3 seriously.
I know, exactly. They spent $gazillion on it. No, we're not taking this seriously.
Yeah,
this is just a throwaway.
Jar Jar.
Oh God, I hated him.
Sheds a tear.
Exactly. So
I hated him.
So now we have the release of the Star Wars game.
Talk
about it, Hall.
November 17th on PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
That's awfully close to Black Ops 3, don't you think? Don't you think that's when they're going to announce? It's always in November.
It seems like it's going to be competing with a lot of stuff. That doesn't seem like an optimal time to release it, but I wonder if they have to release it around then because of the movie.
Yeah, man. The movie's the next month, and they're saying the game connects Empire Strikes Back and
Return of the... Oh, does it?
No, I'm sorry.
Connects Return of the Jedi.
No,
Return of the Jedi.
It should be. It should be Empire and Return. I think.
And I kind of hate when games do that. Like, they release before the movies, and then they just show you a bunch of stuff from the movie.
Or wait,
man,
Darth Vader's in this one, so it'd be the Empire Strikes Back.
It's because you there's a Hoth battle. But then there's also
the Hoth battle.
That's true. But there's also Endor too, because that was like the first half of the trailer. You were in Endor.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's gonna span both chapters.
And then into this next one.
I guess.
I would hope that they kind of hold that stuff back until the movie comes out. I would think they
would, man.
That's what I would think too.
I don't think there's anything for this with this new one. How would they do that when it's not even done yet? Well, almost done yet.
I mean,
But
they could release it as DLC even, like after the fact.
that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Release it like a little DLC, but
because they've been pretty like tight-lipped about like new characters and all the stuff that's kind of going on in the new movie. But I don't know. Maybe by November, they'll like announce everything or something.
I'm sure they will.
I haven't been looking hard because I don't want to see much.
Yeah, but
they've done great at keeping it under wraps.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they really have. Like, not a whole lot of leaking going on, which is good. The Battlefront trailer was great, but now, like, I want to see gameplay. What is this really going to look like? How am I going to experience Star Wars and all of its Star Warsness? And I think that may come at E3. I think we'll see a lot more of that, which I'm kind of excited for now. So, I don't know. Like, the trailer was like, this is great, but it left me also going, oh, that's some big shoes to fill. How is it actually going to be gameplay wise? Like, how is it going to?
Have you played the other ones?
No, and this is coming from somebody who's played none. He's played none of this is like my introduction into it.
The first two were really good, and I still have, even though I don't have anything to play it on, I still have the one from the original Xbox. But it is kind of interesting that they released Battlefront 1 and 2 on PS2 and the original Xbox, and then didn't release anything during last gen.
Right.
Do you think that's coming, though? Do you think they're going to beef it up and do like a whole trilogy?
They had the other one release. What was the other one? Force Unleashed.
Yeah, they did the Force Unleashed games during that time. But even then, like the developer of the Battlefront games, I think they shut down in like 2008, maybe.
Okay.
I can't remember.
Interesting.
But I think this is kind of seemingly like kind of a reboot because they're not calling it Battlefront 3. So
yeah,
it's just Battlefront.
It's like Tomb Raider. Like they're just starting over.
I mean, it's cool. Well, it's been like 10 years.
I was going to say, so these the prior games prior to this were early PS3 and Xbox, right?
No,
you said PS2, right?
PS2 and Xbox original.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah, so I'm excited for it. I really enjoyed the trailer, but you know how they do trailers. It's always like just hype. It's always the hype, and like now I just want to really see like, okay, when you're on Hoth, what are we doing here? Like, what's going on? What can I see? Like, I'm just I really hope it's as good as I have it played out in my head.
I know that's right. Well, and they've been saying too, like this is very multiplayer focused because I think the big draw of the original Battlefront games was the online multiplayer, at least for like, I don't remember if the PS2 version was, but the Xbox original version, I don't remember if it was number 1, but I know number 2 was like online playable. And also it was a big game on the PC. So with this one, they have announced there will be a single player campaign, just like the old ones. And it'll be interesting to see kind of how they've changed up some gameplay elements because it's been 10 years. But I mean, the last time I played the original was probably 7 or 8 years ago. So I don't know if going back to that now, like if it'll feel a little dated. But
yeah, I bet it would.
I mean, I imagine that they can give us something that is very similar to that old game, just kind of giving us some new gameplay elements and gameplay mechanics, and I bet everybody will love it. So
I hope so.
Yeah, the originals were really fun.
Star Wars. It's the year of Star Wars.
We got some movies, people. We got movies finally.
We got movies and some games to go with movies.
Yeah.
Some Bloodborne news. Not really news, but a guy named GB Bearsley on Twitch, a streamer, YouTuber, Twitch streamer, has beat Bloodborne using the Rock Band guitar.
No way.
I was hoping you would do this too.
Yeah, exactly. He used the Titan 1 controller mod that allows you to use pads not normally, compatible with the system, and freaking beat that junk with the guitar.
Wow.
And so not only is Bloodborne supposed to be hard enough, but to do it, and the video of watching him do it is crazy. like seeing him use the buttons and like not the whammy bar, but it looked like the volume control. Like he's using all kind of stuff to look around. It is weird.
Wow. That's freaky.
But
that's
getting
crazy.
after it. Yeah. I thought that was
some
crazy.
Commitment.
Yeah, it does. And some patience.
Yeah.
I'd imagine.
It says that he also beat Dark Souls 2 with the Donkey Konga bongos. You remember those?
That's okay. So this guy is clearly a huge fan of that style.
I can't tell if it was Dark Souls 2 or Bloodborne, but he beat one of those. I mean, it doesn't really matter which one. The fact that he beat him with bongos.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense though. I wonder how many. I didn't know that had that many inputs.
Gabe's like, how many? How about
like right, left, rim?
Yeah,
I can't remember how many buttons those controllers had.
Huh?
It's a bongo. It'd be one, right? This
you would think for each
slash,
one.
Slash,
Yeah.
boop, slash, boop, slash, boom.
Yeah, Tim, I wish you could have been around for the Donkey Konga craze thing because like those things sounded terrible.
Awesome.
Like they had loaded springs in them, so the whole time you would play a game, like it would be a rhythm game similar to Rock Band.
Okay.
The whole time you'd play the game, all you hear was bong, ba, bong, bong, bong. So
I
it didn't
definitely
even
had that game.
Yeah, it didn't even like close to resemble like anything with the song.
That's
so
awesome.
It was hilarious.
And then to continue our Bloodborne news, our boy Chayman Bassett beat the game and of course put up a tweet of it, and he said Bloodborne is finished, completely loved it, and will try for the platinum. Ooh. Here's the thing. He tags us and he tags Yoshida, the worldwide president of Sony. And Yoshida retweeted him.
No way.
Yeah, he replied to it, was like, congratulations. I was like, holy crap, what a retweet.
Shuhei, I've heard Shuhei is really active on Twitter and very like interactive with fans. If he sees something, like he'll definitely respond to it. So that's really cool.
I was like, how dope is that? That it was like at Jamin Bassett and at MTTG Cast. Congratulations! Exclamation point. I was like, that was the last thing I was expecting to see today.
Yeah,
we didn't even do anything.
Yeah, that's great.
I thought that was awesome. So shout out to Jamin Bassett in Korea, getting the freaking balling.
That's right, man.
Reply from
Shuhei Yoshida,
worldwide president of Sony Entertainment. It's awesome. Give us something, Hall.
Let's see. Tony Hawk has confirmed that he has a new game coming.
Yep. I think he had to confirm that.
Well, I was going to say the last time we heard this, it was a depressing mobile game. So I was kind of being a little, what's the word?
You were wary?
Sleuthing. Yeah, I was wary about it. A couple weeks ago, a caterer that seemed to be like at a private event for the game posted a photo on Instagram and revealed like the Tony Hawk 5 logo.
Right.
Wow.
That was so funny.
And he's now no longer a caterer.
Well, they had him pull the images down. I don't know.
Well, sure, because they legaled up on him. That's why.
Yeah. Activision has mentioned that Tony Hawk 5 is just a working title, quote unquote. But
I don't know why they wouldn't work with that title.
I'm sure they are.
Tony Hawk 5. Just do that. It doesn't need to be any more complicated.
The Tony Hawk.
It'll be the Hawk.
Yeah, exactly. like the Radio Shack rebranding. That doesn't work. Don't do it.
Doesn't work.
He could do a commercial like, the 90s called, they want their game back.
Right.
Exactly. Hey, you guys remember the 900? That's what the game should be called. Remember the 900, guys? I did that. That was me. That's great. I'll play some Tony Hawk. I'm not worried about that. I'll get down.
Yeah, buddy.
I don't know how this works, but the William J. Clinton Library released a photo of Hillary playing the Game Boy back in 1993. And when asked about it, she was like, she said she was super addicted to the Game Boy back in the day.
Okay.
So much so that she told Time Magazine that she purchased her own Game Boy so she didn't have to share with Chelsea anymore, her daughter.
That's awesome.
She's like, cool. We need 2 Game Boys because I don't need you playing when I want to play. So she said she was really into Tetris and she fell in love with the Game Boy while she was in the hospital, I think, with her dad. So her dad was going through some stuff, and she was there a lot, and pick up the old Game Boy, and there's pictures of her flying around in a private jet playing the Game Boy. I love it.
Oh, she's just campaigning to gamers now. That's all.
She's just trying to win everybody over.
Trying to win everybody over early.
She's like, don't worry about these emails. Look, I was playing Game Boy.
She's like campaigning. She's like, we got to catch them all. Come on, guys.
That's right.
Right? Oh, my gosh.
It's that time of year. Good old election time.
No, I can't stand it. That's why I'm so glad that we have the Olympics.
Oh, that's true.
Just something to distract you next year from all the hate speech and everything that's going on.
It's awful.
Give us something else, Hall.
Rock Band 4 is going to be co-published by Mad Catz. That's kind of crazy.
That is crazy. The Peripheral company.
I know. I think they already published a game or two, right? I think.
I don't know.
They've had some practice in this area. It kind of makes sense for them to kind of co-publish the game, though, because they do like so much of the peripherals are so much a part of the game. Like, nobody plays it without the peripherals. So,
well, of course, yeah. Why would you?
Well, that makes perfect sense, don't you think?
Yeah,
it does make perfect sense. Yeah,
but Mad Catz was always known as the third party, and so it's kind of nice to see them be like the main guys.
Well, I think did Mad Catz own that other company, Red Octane or something? Red Octane made a lot of the peripherals, and then Mad Catz made their own.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It was always kind of like this weird thing, but it kind of makes sense for them to co-publish the game, because I would imagine that given how Rock Band departed last generation, it kind of makes sense that nobody would want to take a huge risk on it.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, it's in their wheelhouse. They are going to be handling, though, worldwide retail sales, promotions, distribution, and the hardware bundles. And so you would think that it wouldn't be too far from what they are already kind of set up to do, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think the guy who beat Bloodborne with the guitar will play this with an actual controller instead? He just flip-flops it.
I like it. That would be hilarious.
Yeah,
that would be good.
Well, the predecessor to Rock Band, what is it? Frequency and Amplitude. I didn't play Amplitude that much, but I played a lot of Frequency on PS2, and that was all controller.
Really? God, that would seem weird.
It surprisingly wasn't at the time, but basically after having Rock Band, it's probably a little weird now.
Right. Of course. Trivia Crack.
Yes.
Coming to that old Apple Watch.
Ooh.
So if you got a bunch of disposable income, or you're just a tech head like me and have to have the stuff.
Are you going to get one?
No.
You don't need it.
I don't have an iPhone.
That's right.
And I have the Galaxy Gear watch, remember?
That's right, you do. I can see you with Galaxy Gear on the left and the Apple one on the right. You'd be all nerded up.
Right, exactly. It is actually 7:35 in LA. You're like, you can't just do the math in your head real quick. It's only 2-hour difference. Leave me alone.
I'm worried that they're going to struggle to find something good to release for this watch.
Everybody's been praising the watch, but I'm like, how great can it be?
If I had $1 for every time.
Oh, sure, but
but that's always with Apple.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
They just reinvent. They're good at. Oh, that came out. Let's let that be out. And now we're going to do it.
You may or may not need this, but here, this is brand new tech. This is awesome. So you're pretty much going to need this.
I'll tell you what, though, man.
I'll wait around for the Pocket Watch edition.
That's a great call, Hall. The Pocket Watch edition. That was perfect.
I see him pulling it out of a chain going from his belt loop to his pocket. You're like, oh gosh, this guy and his freaking chain wallet. And he's like, actually, it's an iPocket watch.
Actually, my dear, it's 7:35 in London.
You have to hit the thing and open it up. Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's a hipster pocket watch. Pocket iWatch. Oh.
Yep.
That's
Pocket iWatch.
That was good.
That's the name of the episode. Yep. Pocket iWatch. Oh,
he's got a little monocle and everything. It'd be great.
Nah.
With a top hat. No.
Yeah, ever since he buys it, he's got a freaking pipe in his mouth everywhere he goes. He's like, you're like, stop doing that. He's like, I I can't help it.
The Apple pipe.
The Apple pipe, the eye pipe.
Exactly.
Eye pipe. And they'll have like the eye gentleman's chair and eye library shelves.
The eye robe. There's an eye robe. It's wireless. You're like, aren't all robes wireless? Yeah, but this is the eye robe, and it's definitely wireless. Apple is so good at that. Apple is so good at
they are
bringing out tech and making it act like they invented it. They're like introducing Siri. I was like, oh gosh, we've had this on Android phones for like 5 years now.
Yeah.
People like, have you used Siri yet? I'm like, yes, I did in '97.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Back when they didn't have cool names for girls. Right?
That's right.
Her name was Margaret on the Android phones. So the Trivia Crack is going to debut alongside the Apple Watch on Friday. I think it's this Friday it's coming out,
Yeah,
right?
I think so.
So go get you an Apple Watch. I tell you what, man, on the for real, if I broke my Galaxy today, my Galaxy Gear 2, I'd probably have to go buy another one.
Yeah.
Like I love it that much.
Nice.
I love it that much.
That's great, man.
So going from something very expensive to something free this weekend, all Xbox Live Gold members can download NBA 2K15 for free starting at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Friday, April 24th, and play it all weekend until Monday at 12 a.m. Pacific Time. So if you're like me and just want to do the facial recognition thing and see what you look like as a basketball player, I'll be downloading it just for that.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Because I think I like those games, and I haven't played this one.
I kind of like this because it's like a free rental. See if you like it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you can go buy it if you like it.
Exactly. I love it too. They kind of did this with Sunset Overdrive. Remember they did that for like a day or something.
That's
like that.
right.
And,
yeah.
So it'll be cool to see to try this game because I've been wanting to try it and just haven't got out to Redbox to do it. And so hopefully I can, if we don't have a baby this weekend, try some NBA 2K15. You got anything else, Hall?
It's kind of rumored that Alan Wake could come to PlayStation platforms.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so Remedy's been in development on some kind of Alan Wake project. I think they've kind of kept it under wraps for a while, but it's just kind of rumored that, hey, Microsoft may not publish this. So,
yeah, the sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean, the original game did okay in sales. I don't know what the cost measure was, like if it was enough for Microsoft to want to pick up the sequel. But hey, I mean, if they released it on the PS4, it would be no different than what happened to Mass Effect last gen. So
yeah,
open it up to more people.
They'll get more sales out of it. I'll tell you what,
that first game was good. I played the first one. Probably, I don't know. I probably played 30 to 40% of it while I was on tour because we were on a bus that had an Xbox 360.
Oh, that's right. I remember you mentioning that.
And I like that game. It's scary. It's dark and scary. But,
yeah, it is.
It was fun, with all the lights on and my Bible open.
Holy water next to you.
Holy water.
Exactly. Holy urine.
Holy urine.
Oh, man.
I studied that game in college, so that was fun.
Did you? Oh, that's right. From a sound aspect,
design.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. All right. You all out?
That's it.
Nice. Well, every week we ask you guys a question. This last week was no different. We asked you guys, how long have you been gaming and where did you get your start? Starting over at the forum, Struddles 89, who we haven't heard from in a long time. She said, I was probably 4 or 5 when I started out. My first console was a Genesis. Nice. I'm guessing this name is Gowazu Cougs. Sorry for ripping that apart. When I was 4 or 5 and it was called Intellivision. Yes. And why did I pick these? Dirtia. I don't know. Over on the forum still. Been gaming almost nonstop for 26 years. I started gaming when I was about 5. I remember going over my cousin's house and playing his Atari and his Master System. Rich folks. Then one random day, my dad showed up with an NES. Best day ever.
Awesome.
Love that. Over on Twitter, I'm laughing, said 32 years. It all started with me at Two Buds. Oh, wait, sorry. It all started when me and Two Buds cut kindergarten to go play Pac-Man at the arcade.
What?
We got in so much trouble.
Yeah, you went to kindergartners skipping out.
Seriously, packing cigarettes on the way to the arcade.
Hey, buddy.
Like, I can't wait to play this freaking Pac-Man.
School ABC 1, 2, 3. I'm playing Pac-Man. Screw that.
Exactly. These ghosts about to get it. They don't even see what's coming. Wolf at Wolf_Stedro. My older sister got an NES for her birthday about 23 years ago. I've been gaming ever since.
Nice.
Jonathan C. at Johnny Boy 1901. Almost 20 years. I was around 5 when the SNES, with the SNES playing Mario World and Donkey Kong Country. Donkey Kong Country was so good.
Yes.
When that first came out, I feel like you hadn't seen anything like that before. And so, Donkey Kong Country. Yes.
It made you think like that the cartridge was rendering the characters.
It really did.
We were like, oh, it's in 3D.
Well, you guys know where to find us. Facebook.com/married to the games, Twitter.com/MTTGcast, YouTube.com/married to the games. Come subscribe, like the videos. Even if you don't like the videos, like the videos. And we got Shenmue Saturdays going on over there, previews for the show. I don't know if I'm going to do Bloodborne or not. It might take too much editing because of how much I'll be dying.
But that might be the fun part.
Exactly. Like, I died again. There's definitely parts in Borderlands where I was like, I'm so glad I'm not streaming this right now, because let's say I was level 24 and I was doing like a level 28 mission.
Oh, forget it.
I was like, no, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
This is getting beaten. So I just do it over and over and over again. They could kill me with one shot. So I had to get really slick on those. But where else? marriedtothegames.com. Come check out the forums. We're still talking and having a good time over there. There's some good stuff being shared. Some hard stuff, some good stuff, some real stuff. There's some deals going on. I love it. It's great. And Paul?
Don't forget to rate us on iTunes, because we'd like to all get eye pocket watches.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do.
Pocket eye watch, baby.
Yes, please.
We want to look better than everyone.
Ballin'.
No, that's the eye yacht you're thinking of.
The eye yacht.
That's right. God, I keep switching them up. That's right. The eye yacht. That's right. All right, let's get into some questions.
All right, we're starting with email. We got an email from London, not the city, actual name, London. And his subject, player versus dev choice. So this was very interesting. The announcement of the new Deus Ex game has brought to mind a question that I don't think I've heard anyone speaking about. Deus Ex Human Revolution ended with giving the player a choice about how the future of that world would take shape. In the new game, the devs have chosen which of those endings is canon and have thrown out the other ending. Other games have done this recently as well, such as Infamous Second Son and Star Wars The Old Republic. What do you think of this phenomenon? Personally, I think it sucks. Thanks.
You know, it's funny. I when I sat with Stancil, I talked to him a bunch about this. And I was like, because before the game was out, obviously I didn't know anything about it. And I was like, yeah, so I was like, does Cole play a big role, or is he like really, really minuscule? He's like, he's not in it. And I was like, what? He's like, he's not in it. I was like, but you just can't tell me. You mean like, but he's in it, right? He was like, no, he's not in it. I was like, nowhere, like not even nowhere. He's nowhere. He's like, he's nowhere. That his story's over. And I was like, well, why? And he said, because the information that we got back for how people played the game, most people killed him at the end of Infamous 2.
Huh.
And I was like, so he's nowhere? He was like, the players killed him. And so that's what we're going off of. So I see what this guy is saying because it does suck, but you just hope, like Sucker Punch did, that they look at the feedback that they get and they go with the majority. You know what I mean?
That's smart. I think you play and cater. If you're a developer, you play and cater to the player. I don't think it should be the other way around. I think it needs to be, and that's a great example of it. If the data comes back that most of the people kill Cole, then that's your platform for the next one. You launch it from there. And that makes total sense to me.
Yep. Makes sense to me. It does suck though for those that those that kept Cole alive. Right. I don't know what the percentages was. He didn't get into all that.
I kept him alive.
I wasn't trying to dig too deep because I don't want him getting. I don't know what he couldn't tell me at the time. I'm guessing it's fine now because the game's been out for a year. But
yeah,
I think it's funny because I think sometimes we sit back and we're like, oh man, these devs don't freaking care. Or you know how you're in a plane and the turbulence is really bad. And you're like, what's the pilot doing? He's going to kill us. You're like, well, the pilot's got family too. Like they probably try to make it home too. And so the devs, they want the best for the game too. And so all you can do is take what you know and run with it. You know what I'm saying? And hope that you make the right choice for the consumer.
Well, and they probably have to pitch this to the publisher. They're like, all right, so we had 2 different endings at the end of the last game. So we'd like to kind of develop like 2 beginnings in tandem. And, and the publisher will be like, what? No.
Exactly.
That's not happening.
Yeah.
And that's what was hard at the end of Infamous, because in the end of Infamous 2, spoiler alert, you could choose to kill Cole, obviously, and that would like start killing off. That would keep like all these people from getting all these powers, or you could keep him alive and he'd be like the god of all the guys with powers running around, the conduits. And so when you kill him, there's like a boat going out to sea, and then right before it goes black, lightning strikes the boat. And so you think that, even though I killed him, he came back to life because this whole thing was electricity. And but nope, he's not an Infamous Second Son at all. So what are you gonna do?
That's awesome.
But I agree with you. It does suck, but there's no way to appease both things without making 2 games.
Exactly. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, and like if you look at a developer like Telltale, like they're in a unique position because they're really just like making a story, an interactive story. So they can do very small little callbacks to decisions that you've made.
Well, and and they're smart
because it doesn't take a lot of time.
Exactly. The data is there for them, so they can really, if they wanted to, they can do whatever they want because they have all the data. And if the majority of the people did this, and this, you'd probably want to see that through,
Right. And it's funny because it looks like the devs made the choice to change, to go that way, but it might really just be the people made the choice.
That's exactly. It's democracy at its finest.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It's like people complaining about president.
Yeah.
Like, well, still majority of us put the president where he is.
It's exactly right. It's exactly right. London, great question on that email. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Moving on to Facebook. Chris McCracken. Hey yo. Even if you're not a hardcore fighting game fan, everyone has a side. What's better, Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter?
Ooh. Shoot. For pick up and play value and feeling like I could hang, I think I got to go Street Fighter. Even though Street Fighter did get combo heavy.
Yeah, I check out at Street Fighter 2, basically.
Exactly. It didn't get as I felt like Mortal Kombat was always combat heavy, where Street Fighter, you felt like you could at least fake it for a while. I got to go Street Fighter, man.
I got to go with I have to go with both just because Street Fighter 2 is an awesome game and I love playing it to this day. And then Mortal Kombat 2 is an awesome game and I love playing it to this day. And neither of them are combo heavy. Really, combos are just kind of a part of the game peripherally. So
Mortal Kombat 2, you didn't feel like was combo heavy?
No, not really. I mean, it was basically just it was just like it was in Street Fighter 2 where you could kind of come up with a combo, but it wasn't necessarily like
I feel like when I played as
the game.
I feel like I played as Katana and could get somebody's health half down with one combo is like jump, throw your fan, blah 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 blah. You know, and it seemed, but maybe that's just the way I
but
played.
it wasn't like it wasn't like Killer Instinct where there was a distinct button combination where like
right
where
the combos are on the screen at the arcade.
Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. Like anytime they don't put the numbers up there at the arcade, like the game was, there are combos in the game, but they weren't thinking like, oh, we got to program these combos in, you know?
Yeah, where it'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't really play either of them. I'm not a huge fighting game person, so I'm going to say Mortal Fighter or Combat or Street Combat.
Street Combat.
Mortal Fighter and Street Combat. There you go.
Sounds like an awful name for a fighting game that somebody would release. Mortal Fighter.
Mortal Fighter. Yeah. No, I don't think so.
That's funny.
Good question. Moving on. Joseph Grimm. Hello, gentlemen. I need help with a problem. Thank the Lord I've quit smoking. But ever since then, I don't enjoy playing the story mode in games as much as I used to. I don't know how they correlate.
Really interesting.
I know. I don't know how they correlate, but that's pretty funny. It's like, I quit smoking and now I hate campaign mode.
Well, I imagine if I quit eating, I'd probably hate campaigns too.
Yeah,
sure. I'd hate life if I quit eating.
Yeah, exactly. He says, I play a lot of FPS online with friends, but get easily aggravated. And with a limited choice of games I play because of swearing and such, is there any advice you can give? I love my retro games, but I don't want that to be my only option. Obi-Wan, you're the only one that can help.
Nice. I would say start venturing into
Mortal Fighter.
Some RPGs, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's some deep stories out there that
I agree.
That have a lot of smarts to them still. And I feel like RPGs aren't as heavy on the cussing as like Call of Duty and stuff like that, if that bothers you.
Or maybe, well, it might be weird to go from FPS to like a platform or like a Guacamelee or something like that.
Guacamelee was great.
Yeah.
That was really a fun game.
I still need to play that game, but like, just, I don't know, switch it up. This is exactly why I don't do online, because I would be the same way. I would get so easily aggravated, and I'd probably start smoking if that was the case. That's exactly the reason why I try not to play a whole lot online unless I'm with our beloved community, because then I'm not getting headshot by a 12-year-old who's cussing at me the whole time. You know what I mean? It's
exactly.
Like, that's stressful. Games aren't supposed to be stressful.
Is he talking about language like in the storyline, like voiceover?
It sounded like in the campaign.
Yeah, it sounds like in the campaign. Mm-hmm. But that's awesome.
Counter-Strike Global Offensive.
Okay, there you go.
You will play the crap out of it, and there's really no story.
Sweet.
That's an old game, boy.
Yeah. Well, not Global Offensive.
Is that not still pretty old?
Nah, that one came out like 2 or 3 years ago.
Oh, wow. What am I thinking of? Source, maybe?
Yeah, Source was, what, 02?
Yeah, forever ago.
That's awesome. Joseph, thanks for that, and congratulations. Keep it up. Here we go. On to Twitter. Ed Placencia. Here we go. Hey-o. If Tim Burton were to step into the gaming arena, which franchise would you love to see him get his hands on? Holy crap, that is a phenomenal question.
Shoot.
I love
me some
We'll be
Tim
right
Burton. Back after these messages so I can think about it.
Yeah. Shoot, man. I don't know. That's so good. You know what's funny? The first thing that came to mind, and it sounds weird, but maybe do some sort of a BioShock thing, because that would make sense for him.
Yeah.
So like either continue in that realm, or I don't know.
I was going to say Earthworm Jim.
Oh, nice.
It seems like weird enough for Tim Burton to be like reboot Earthworm Jim, and it's like a little darker, a little crazier, but still awesome.
I like that.
I think I'd like to see his take on, I hate to say this, but like Doom, because I kind of feel like
there you go.
The story stuff, and I mean, I know we haven't seen anything out of Doom 4 yet, but I kind of feel like the story is already going to be dated when that game comes out. Like it needs something different. I think, you have the opportunity, because Doom was supposed to be kind of like I don't want to say a scary experience, but like a game that would make you uneasy, I guess. So it'd be nice to see like kind of a twisted turn on that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I would love that.
Yeah.
Something new for Doom.
I mean, like if you look at what they did with like the movie, Like it's obvious kind of like what direction they were moving the story in, and that just feels dated at this point.
Yep.
So
The Rock.
Yeah, do something twisted and different.
I like it.
That'd be Tim Burton, definitely. Awesome. Great question, Ed. Thanks for that. At Delvin Cox, did you guys watch Daredevil yet?
No.
No, I want to though.
Yeah.
I heard it's awesome.
Yeah.
They were talking about like it's so good they were talking about it on ESPN.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, they were like, what did you think about the Bulls Bucks game the other day? And one of the commentators goes, when I turned it on and it was 13-9, I was like, such and such is on. And the girl was like, I know, I went and watched another episode of Daredevil. And he was like, oh, you're watching that too? And she was like, yeah. He's like, what episode you on? She's like, 3. He's like, me too. He's like, that show goes hard. I was like, all right now.
All right.
Daredevil getting some promotion on ESPN.
Wow. All right. We got to watch it. At Frozen Gamers, Gabe, now that you have a new 3DS, have you considered picking up Xenoblade Chronicles 3D?
Man, I have fallen off the 3DS bandwagon so hard.
I was afraid that was going to happen.
Well, it's not that I don't want to play it. It's just like, I just feel like I don't have time. Like, especially with all the house stuff, I got to like wait till I go back out on the road and get some peace and quiet up in this joint. It was funny. My wife she got taken out by her sister yesterday, and in between two things, she was like, yeah. And so I went and ate lunch. I was like, oh, with Jess? She was like, no, by myself, and just sat there. I was like, what was that like? Was it awesome to sit there and eat by yourself? So we just haven't had any time. It feels like, today we've got, now we go to the baby doctor every week. And so we're going downtown for that today. And, obviously we were doing a bunch of house stuff, and that's kind of ending. And then we got our carpets cleaned yesterday, so we had to get everything off the floor, and everything's on the beds right now. So we got to kind of go back to putting our house back together. So it feels like I haven't had a lot of time to just sit down and open up the 3DS and get back to it. Not hating on it at all. I just haven't been able to get to it. But
ladies and gentlemen, Piper has woken up again. This is like three out of the 4 times that we've been doing this. Hi, sweetie.
That's all right.
She's just looking at me. But hey, she's dry. That's good. That works.
Yeah, I know that's right. So good question.
A great question. Spencer Stapleton at Krypton TKMC. If you were exposed to gamma rays and ended up like the Hulk, how often would you lose your temper and Hulk out over a video game? For Halo 3, I would be green the entire time. Not Halo 3, just Halo. Sorry, Halo 1.
Halo period.
Halo period, I would be green the entire time and extremely mad.
What about you, Hall? You seem to not get angry.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, certain games, like I remember playing Call of Duty World at War on Veteran, I think it was. And everywhere, you could not stop walking at any time. There were grenades everywhere. You'd even be in a field with no people, and there's still
isn't that
grenades.
the thing? There's a grenade and boom, you're done.
Yeah, that game was frustrating.
Probably that last little stench of Persona. I would have definitely broke something. I'd be like, why is this game not over yet?
Hulk smash.
Yeah, exactly. They'd be like, man, Hulk's grammar got good.
I had a friend in high school who, if a game was like really making him mad, he'd pull the disc out and hold it in his hand and just punch it. It would break.
That's awesome.
He was kind of crazy.
Yeah, that sounds
clearly.
Crazy. Yeah,
that's a good one.
Good question.
Lucas Ham Swisher. A follow up to Ed's question: best and or worst Tim Burton films. Ready, go. Best film for me is Nightmare Before Christmas. Still one of my favorite. It's a classic. I watch it every year around Halloween.
Never seen it.
Yeah, I know you have
not seen that.
Yeah, you have to see it. It's so good.
Really?
That's crazy, dude.
Worst.
I love how much it sounds like you mean that, dude. That's crazy. Like,
dude, that's like insane.
You
need to drink water.
That movie
drink
than
water.
Play video games.
Yeah.
What's that?
I said more people have probably seen that movie than play video games.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
I need to see it sometime. Yeah.
I don't really have a worst film though. I can't think of one right now.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. I'll go with that.
I never saw it, but I'd imagine it's bad.
Yeah, I was going to say that one for my worst. It's not that great.
Okay.
Gabe, you don't have to see that one, but you do have to see Nightmare Before Christmas.
You really do. I've got it. I'll let you borrow it.
I would say that would be my best for him.
Yep.
But don't go back and watch 1989 Batman.
Oh, really? It doesn't hold up?
It does not hold up at all.
Oh, shoot.
I tried to do that. We went to see my mom for want to say it was Thanksgiving maybe. And I was like, oh, cool. Like I haven't like had time to really like sit down and go through Netflix. So I'm going to watch Batman.
Oh,
and
boy.
I couldn't even make it through the whole thing. It was
Really?
so bad.
Really?
I can't believe it either because I used to watch that movie constantly as a kid.
Yeah. I got to go with probably Edward Scissorhands. I actually really liked it.
I have not seen that in its entirety either, and I need to.
At the time. And maybe it was my age, but I thought Mars Attacks was really funny.
Oh my God, that's a good one. That is a good one.
Exactly. And I got to stick with Charlie the Chocolate Factory. I haven't seen it, but it just looked so bad to me.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Good
The
question.
special effects some of them are kind of cool, but the movie's just so bad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
At Chaman Bissett, Tim, as the resident Assassin's Creed guy, what are your top picks for places and time periods for the next few games? Well, let's definitely extend that to everybody. But we talked about this a while ago, and I think doing like a World War II would be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Again, like going back and revisiting it now because it's been how long since a World War II game?
Right.
Right.
Yeah. So like maybe during that time, I thought of like it'd be weird to do, but like the Civil War would be kind of cool too. Like you being an assassin, because you could go between Confederate and Union, and I think
that would be interesting.
That would be really interesting. I don't know how the heck they'd pull it off, considering Ubisoft, the guys that are mostly French, so they wouldn't necessarily know Civil War.
They're like, what?
U.S. U.S. Civil War history, but they'd figure it out. That's for sure.
I kind of want them. This is going to sound weird, and I know this is not their thing, but I think it could be cool. But I wouldn't mind them taking what they do to the future and just making up an event or something like modern day or the future. Like, let's say, I remember in the last Call of Duty, I think they called one of the ships or one of the planes the Obama. And so it's in the future.
Nice.
And, something's been named that now. And so I was like, man, I wouldn't mind if they took it to kind of now and from now on. Like, what does their implementation of assassins look like today?
They could do
they use
kind of
guns
like
and stuff.
an apocalyptic game or something.
Yeah, I don't want it to be squeaky clean, like that kind of futuristic, but yeah, like that Star Wars, like everything's still dirty, but for some reason it's the future, but it's still rough,
Yeah.
Which,
Good
by the way, I'm
question.
glad that's back because the prequel trilogy was so like clean.
Yeah.
Like, everything just looked good, I guess.
Yeah,
we
too
want that
good.
worn-in look.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Love it.
Man, we got some good questions. Or we'll finish up with this one at JonyBoy1901. This is a tough one, guys. Burgers or hot dogs?
Oh,
Because man, I love me some both, man. Oh,
Yep, one of each.
yep. I agree.
Every time. If there's hot dogs and hamburgers at a party, one of each is getting eaten.
Yep. Agreed.
Even though I might have two hot dogs if nobody's looking and one hamburger.
Chubby Ninja, little sneak action.
Exactly. But I will say when I go out to eat, I always get hamburgers because not a lot of people offer a good hot dog.
That's very true.
But if you're at like Costco or something, them hot dogs are really good.
Those things are huge.
And they're huge. You only get one of those.
No, yeah, you feel real bad afterwards after eating them.
Gabe, I think
Thank
you
you
need
guys.
a shirt that says "Always be yourself, except when you're Chubby Ninja." Then always be Chubby
Then
Ninja.
always
Always
be
be the
Chubby
Chubby Ninja.
Yep.
I love it. Thank you guys so much for the questions. We love answering them. The question for you guys: you're on a desert island. You have a television, a console, and a game. What is that console? What is that game? Router, quickly.
PS4 Witcher 3 because I hear it's 200 hours.
Nice.
Hall.
Man, it would almost have to be Skyrim, right?
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
gone back to that
I didn't even
before.
do half of that.
Yeah.
I'd have to go.
Gabe's going with the order.
Yes. I'll go with the order that I hang myself. I gotta go. I gotta go FF7. Unfortunately, PlayStation 1, Final Fantasy 7. There's so many things in that game I didn't do. I didn't beat all the weapons. I didn't. There's so much stuff I probably didn't doing that game.
Too bad you won't have like access to the internet to help
I
you out.
know,
You'll
to
just
try
have
to figure
it
out. Yeah, I'll never get a gold chocobo again. All right, you guys, let us know, Desert Island, what console, what game, and we will read them next week. Thank you guys so much for listening. I am Gabe Patillo. That is Tim Router. That is Timothy Hall. And we, collectively, are married to the games and are up out this thing. Peace!